Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing academy. We have one such industry giant on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Manish Savant. With a career spanning over 2 decades, he has succeeded in the regulatory sector, demonstrating steadfast stability and sound logic. With a profound knowledge based in development control regulations, policies, circulars, and other pertinent regulations governing real estate development in the Mumbai Metropolitan Region, that is MMR, including Mumbai and Thane City, he has emerged as a trusted authority in his domain. In his current role as the consultant and president of regulatory affairs for Rustomjee, Keystones Realty Limited and subsidiaries, Mumbai and MMR, he oversees day-to-day compliances across multiple projects in Mumbai, Thane, Virar, and the MMR region. His responsibilities include providing guidance to the group on approval processes, timelines, and financial implications associated with various statutory approvals. He also plays a critical role in fostering communication and maintaining process adherence inside the organization by collaborating with external consultants and intra-departmental teams. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Savant.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity granted.
So could you elaborate on your experience in the regulatory field, particularly your responsibilities and achievements over the past 2.5 decades?
I'm being in this profession for last 25 years. And since then, it has been a progressive graph for me with all the exposure I had in the real estate sector. So I can say that I entered the era when the digitalization was just about to start in the field of architecture. And then from there, I have seen the progress of taking over from there to the AI and now to the technology taking over the architectural designing. So while doing so in the overall progress, there have been a lot of opportunities, a lot of projects which I have handled and I have successfully delivered them. In the past till date, I assume that I have almost done about 6 million square feet of work already delivered and as an architect of the project, and another 6 million is in pipeline. So that is the amount of work I have handled over a period of time of last 25 years. I have handled the few unique projects which were never anticipated, or the type of development which were never imagined in the real estate sector, which was then now taken up by most of the developers. That's a township projects. Because earlier the standalone buildings, the basic building designs were happening, but the township project was one of the key close to my heart because it was a game changer for the real estate. The policy came from government of Maharashtra somewhere in 2006. And I take a pride that I was handling the one of the 2 projects which first got approved in Maharashtra, across Maharashtra as a special township status, which was spanning about more than 120 acres. So that was the basic one of the important projects which I handled. Then the implementation of that particular project was itself a challenge, because when you don't have any background of how the schemes are to be implemented at a township level, so there were a lot of challenges which came across. But however, we were able to tide through those challenges through the knowledge gain, because of then adaptive strategic planning, everything what we have done. So in that process, I have done the projects across MMR region, maybe a Thane city or Mumbai, different type of projects, the greenfield projects, brownfield projects, redevelopment projects. You name, I can say that maximum type of variety the one architect can definitely have in his basket. I have enjoyed all those types of projects. I have been awarded, just to know that I have been awarded twice by Rashtriya Gaurav Award and a Rajiv Gandhi Shiromani Award, way back in 2007 and another in 2009. So the journey has been definitely a long journey, but I have enjoyed that journey as a profession, and I look forward for serving for at least another 10-15 years of so minimum.
Mr. Manish, thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And I must say, your career journey is truly inspiring.
Thanks, sir.
So, continuing our conversation, can you discuss a particularly complex project that you have worked on and how have you navigated the regulatory landscape to ensure its success?
Yeah, so as I spoke about that township, I would like to say that that was the one major challenging, because any project has their project dynamics. But this project was a unique project. You name the issues and it was into that project. So it may be the various reservations, various authorities involved, highways passing through the projects, net land available for development is far lesser, because maximum land was reserved for the development plan reservations to be acquired by the government authorities. The nalas, the high tension lines, the coastal regulation zone, it has had everything of it. So for carrying out a development on this project was itself a challenge to make it viable. So we started this project with just to give a number of about 20 lakh square feet of the FSI. That was the starting point of the project, and with all the approvals and the processes and implementing the various policies, we were able to now reach up to not less than, you can say, from 20 lakh square feet to more than 1 lakh square feet. Sorry, 20 lakh square feet to 10 lakh square feet, not 1 lakh, 10 lakh square feet. So it has been a long journey. The issues faced, because when any project goes in for an approval to the governing authorities, the policies are not clear. You have to interpret the policies. You have to regulate with what exactly the regulation means, how to be implemented, and to get the approvals. So considering that this was another one thing, that this was the first project in Thane city which got the coastal regulation zone clearance from the central government of India. So there were a lot things which were not clear. Regulations were not completed. The paperwork from the government's side were not compliant with. So first, to understand what are the requirements, statutory requirements, then what are the compliances required, and how to address those compliance at the time of lacunas in the regulations. So all these processes I did. So I had to go to the authority not for the project, but as an appointed professional, to show what are the issues within the government parameters, what they need to do before any project is being assessed by the government. So government of Maharashtra had not completed their processes. We had to go to the central government, explain what was pending from their side also. So before I took up approval of these projects, I had to clear all these backgrounds. So having an insight about what will be the issues which will crop up at that point of time for a project. So you need to have that thorough understanding of the regulation, the processes, and then the strategies. I think these pillars we need to work for across our career to get any possible positive result for any type of profession we pursue with.
That really sounds incredible, Mr. Manish. So moving forward, could you mention some qualities that you regard indispensable for your field?
Yeah, I would list a few. First thing is the in-depth knowledge about the regulation. It is far, far important to have an in-depth of knowledge of a regulation once you are in this particular field of real estate. So, because in India, it is completely governed by the regulations. So we have to be compliant about all the regulations. It may be the regulations with reference to the building plans. It may be regulations with reference to the environment parameters. It may be with reference to the ESG, anything. You list it and it has to be compliant to be in the real estate sector. So, knowledge about the regulations, governing regulations, it from the legal aspect also are to be, you should be aware about. You may not be thorough or you may not be an authority to in that particular regulation, but you should be aware about all the regulations that do come into picture. That is the first thing. Then attention to the details. So what exactly the project needs and what exact attention you need to give so that you don't get stuck up while following the process of these approvals. You don't get stuck at one particular compliance. So that is one thing. Positive attitude. I said the positive attitude is far more important because in this field of seeking the regulatory approvals, you will face hurdles, you will fall, you will have to regenerate yourself, you have to make a new applications and restart the entire process to make sure that you give the final output what is required for any particular project. So that is one. To accept challenges, to have a strategic planning for how to pursue those approvals, how to get those approvals in an specific timelines. So because everyone has to respect time, everything is time bound. So to be in this particular field, you have to be time bound about your processes, what you implement. You should have a good communication skill because you are dealing with the government authorities wherein you have to interact with the IS officers and the government officers wherein you need to have a good communication skill to build a rapport with them, to have them the comfort of discussing the issues, resolving the issues and finding the via medias to get your approvals done within the regulatory framework. Then the negotiation is one of the aspect of the regulatory being in this particular field of real estate. So to negotiate and to pursue with those officers to make sure what exact thinking and what exactly approval you are asking for and why it is a valid. You need to have those representations, everything done. So all these aspects, I think these are the very important aspects which are required for any particular skilled professional to be in this particular. Apart from that, ethical conduct and continuous learning is always the process. I say that even at after 25 years, I'm still in the learning process because learning will never stop. So regulations are being in real estate a dynamic field. The regulations keep changing over a period of time, and then you need to have updated about those regulations. And so that's why learning is far important. You need to adapt to the surroundings, the changes which are happening in the real world. So like I started when it was just taking up for a digitalization, and we are today in completely digitalization world. So we need to be conversant about what is coming up, and you should be geared up to be ready to take up that particular change and move ahead. I think these are the basic qualities anyone should have to be a good professional, to give a maximum 100% output.
Exemplary. All right. So moving ahead, Mr. Manish, working in the regulatory compliance field for over 2.5 decades, your transition to corporate governance is quite obvious. Our viewers would like to know how and when did you develop an interest in ESG?
Yeah. Over a period of time, the over last 25 years, the journey from the regulatory compliances to corporate governance has been a natural evolving. So I would say that when we are practicing the ethical business practices, being the transparency, accountability in and within the organization, the similar practices are to be adopted when you are dealing with the government officials. So in this rapid environment of MMR region, while developing these particular projects, we should have a profound, which has a profound impact on the environment. So we need to be cognizant of the fact that this is going to affect in long term to the coming generations. So while doing that, we need to be cognizant of the environment parameters, the corporate governance, which under which affects the broader society. So integrating that ESG consideration into real estate decision making is not just a matter of compliance, but it is an strategic imperative, I will say. So, all of the several key moments of experience being contributed in when I grew, when I heightened my focus in ESG in the MMR region to developing in MMR region. So, I think this all this engaging with the stakeholders, the government officials, then the regulatory bodies to a local community and all these parameters we need to look into the holistic aspect that what is exactly required for a real estate firm, but at the same time what is required for a society or what is required for the environment. So we need to have all the perfect mixture of all these three categories to have an ESG compliant you can say organization.
All right. So, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, Mr. Manish, what values do you bring to the table?
As a corporate governance, I feel that ethical conduct is very important. So you should be ethically perfect in whatever you deal with or whomsoever you deal with in a professional. Then the sustainability is an important part. So whenever you have a particular design and any particular decision being taken, it should be a sustainable decision which not doesn't harm the environment parameters or it doesn't harm the ongoing development or an near future wherein the environment is going to be a very important aspect in our life. Then social responsibility is one of the important part. Though when I'm in a real estate sector, the CSR activities to be carried out and to be socially responsible towards the society is very important. Corporate governance is another part of it. In corporate governance, the accountability, as I mentioned, the accountability, transparency. These are the important aspects which are to be implemented. Stakeholders engagements with as being in this field, the my stakeholders are mainly the investors, the customers, the bankers, and the prospective buyers in the real estate sector. Then long-term value creation. So anyone works, any organization who has survived over a decades or over a decades, I will say they need to have a long-term values. So if you have those values already aligned for any organization, any person, then it is that organization is going to perform and give the best output to the society. Financial goal is one part, but apart from that, giving this particular values to the society is far more important. And lastly, the continuous learning and development. I will say that is again one of the important aspect which we should always follow. So these are the things I think are important aspects when we implement ESG or the corporate governance.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Manish. Moving forward, let's discuss technology and its impact on your professional landscape. So, here is my question to you. What are some ways you wish to leverage technological advents, namely IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, cloud, digital twin, in your professional life?
Yes, IoT has been recently being implemented in all the recent real estate sectors, and it has been strongly recommended by the authorities, government authorities also. So IoT is one thing which actually goes into an implementation of a project and actual execution of a project. Parallelly, AI has is taking a maximum. Uh, I think the it is going to be contribute a lot to the ongoing development and the upcoming development with the facilities available, with the softwares coming in. Apart from AI, because I'm in real estate, I know that there are a lot many 3D modules being developed. Everything has been all designing aspects are pre-designed completely in 3D so that there are no execution hiccups which may appear at a later state. So AI and the software we should always needs to be conversant with, and that should be got implemented. As a professional, I may not may name a software, but as a professional, we are implementing the FMS, which I take a proud in. Though in a regulatory sector, we have all processes laid down step by step, which I know that when I'm taking a project, that project will be approved or which will be ready for launch within so many days. So we have that detailed working calculation of each and every step with the past experience, whatever we have. So that is one. The blockchain, I think that is more related to the for the property transactions. But the cloud computing and the data storage is far important because the accessibility, the world, the way we have seen, everyone has seen in COVID, that it was a time when people realized the importance. The cloud is a cloud, and the data storage is far important that you can access it from anywhere. That gives the agility to any organization to be agile to any situation and to be accessible from wherever they are. So that is far important than the digital twinning of technology and management. It is always better that if you are able to bring in the technology to is in the business which we carry. So bringing in technology in all the processes will help us to give better output and to give 100% compliant or and process driven organization. I think these are the key things which I think are important when we bring in digitalization in any organization.
Absolutely. Mr. Manish, thank you for sharing such amazing insights into different subjects. So this brings us to the last question of the session. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the team of World Development Corporation?
Actually, it is a very good initiative which has been taken, considering that when I have seen that the organizations or the banking sector organization which has failed in the past, wherein there is a lot of focus onto collaboration and innovation and knowledge sharing. I think this World Development Corporation is doing a great thing to bring the people from various sectors with a, from and creating a dynamic platform for cross pollination of ideas, experience, and best practices being practiced in the industries, and uh, exchanging those best practices within the people who desire to get seek knowledge and share and desire to seek knowledge and to grow in their particular sector. So this gives the power to inspire and the mentor to the next generation also, because as I mentioned, the learning is important aspect, and because of this particular platform which this has been created by Zishan and Heval, it has definitely got I think they are definitely elevating the knowledge what people have and how that knowledge has to be utilized and how it will inspire the ongoing next generation to be completely compliant with. So when I say compliant, it should be regulatory, it should be sustainable, it should be corporate governance, which everything they have the entire basket which is required for any particular profession or an organization. So it's a good initiative, and I think that will help future generation to for and the business landscapes across the world.
Rightly said, Mr. Manish. And it was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Manish Savant, for joining us today. We wish you the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.